Good evening, everybody. It's Tess Crawley here, clinical and forensic psychologist, coming to you from Hobart on a very rainy Friday. I was going to say Wednesday. My goodness, Friday night. I hope you've had a great day today. Being Friday, obviously, it's time to now unwind and relax for most of us. Now, today I wanted to talk a little bit about mobile phone apps that might actually be of some help to some of you. Now, if you've seen me in private practice or one of my colleagues in my team, you might have heard of some of these apps before. I was talking with a fantastic local GP this morning, and we were talking about the treatment of anxiety, and we were talking about the recent changes to the Royal Australian College of Psychiatry to their guidelines for the treatment of anxiety. And he was telling me that they have put the use of apps as the first line defence for anxiety management. The second strategy or the second level of treatment would then be psychological input, and then the third level of treatment would be medication. I found that really interesting to hear that the psychiatry profession was also looking at the benefits of what they would call, like, I guess, an entry-level self-help style approach to anxiety management. And of course, if you're finding that those strategies aren't helpful, then you've got all those extra layers of psychology and then medication. So, how do you know which apps are going to be of use? Well, there's a couple of things that you can do. The Australian Psychological Society has published a couple of bits and pieces relating to the use of apps. But of course, the trouble is, for every article that's posted about what apps are available and are of benefit, 5 new apps have been released on the market before the article's been printed or published. So I think it's really hard to keep on top. So what we do then is we tend to recommend organisations rather than specific apps, or the apps linked with specific organisations. So for example, if you have a look at the Beyond Blue website, you'll find some apps listed there that might be of use to you. If you have a look at the Headspace website, you might find some apps there. The Headspace website, Headspace is actually targeting young people, and so their apps are geared a little bit more towards young people. There's also a great organisation called Reach Out, and they have some fantastic apps that I also recommend. And finally, Smiling Mind is an app that I do actually specifically recommend quite a bit, and that is a mindfulness-based app that a lot of my clients have found very, very helpful. So it starts with some what's the word I'm looking for? Some mindfulness-based meditations, and each of those, the exercises on the Smiling Mind app are about 5 to 10 minutes in length. So I mentioned Reach Out. They have a number of apps. If you're looking for something really quick, if you're practicing the breathing that I taught you in the anxiety, one of the anxiety videos a little while back, the Reach Out app, it's called Breathe. That's pretty simple to remember. So if you go to your app store and you search Reach Out Breathe, you'll find the app there, and it is just a visual for you to sync your breathing with. So it's not a guided meditation, it's just a nice sort of pulsing image that you breathe in and out in time with. So it helps you slow your breathing down, and if you've got good skill around putting your breathing down to your diaphragm instead of up to your upper chest, it's a good app to help you with your breathing. Alongside, another really good mindfulness app actually for in the perinatal field is the Mind the Bump app. So that's a pregnancy specific app related to mindfulness, and you might find that a really good app for helping you get through some of the bumps, if you like, of pregnancy, and that's an app that we often recommend people try. I think there's another app from Reach Out which is called Worry Time, and Worry Time is an app if you tend to ruminate or get stuck on the track of worrying. If you have a look at the Worry Time app, it actually helps you store your worries for later, allocate a time when you're allowed to worry about them, and then throw out the ones that are of no real significance anymore. So the idea behind worry time, this is an old CBT or cognitive behavioural therapy technique, where when we find that we're ruminating all the time and it's interfering with our ability to get on with our day-to-day tasks and activities, what we can do is set aside, say, 15 minutes of the day where we say, or half an hour, where we say, okay, I'm going to worry myself silly at 4 o'clock tonight, and between now and 4 o'clock I'm not allowed to worry at all. And what you can do is you can write down your worries, put them on a piece of paper, and come back to them at 4 o'clock. What you might find by 4 o'clock is that those worries no longer actually are of any concern to you. They've settled down in your mind. Okay, and I think then with the Worry Time app, it runs on that same premise. So you store your worries and you put them aside to Worry Time, and then you look at them then. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do, right, for this 2 seconds, is two little monkeys have popped up the top of my stairs. Guys, can you just head downstairs for a minute so I can concentrate? Thank you. Okay, now, in my conversation this morning, I discovered, when I was talking to this fabulous local GP, I discovered, or he showed me, that there's a section on your, if you have an iPhone, I wish I could tell you what to do if you don't have an iPhone, but I don't know what the Android equivalent is, if there is an Android equivalent. But on your iPhone, I'm going to get my spare old phone, and I'm going to show you, on your iPhone, you can find a section called Health. It's like a little, can you see a little love heart there, the little white tile with the love heart on it? Okay, hang on a second. And then when you open up Health, it brings you to, I've just got to scroll through the little welcome get started sections, and then it brings you to a page where you, oh, go away, where you've got some choices. And the choices are, the red one is activity, the blue one is the light blue one is nutrition, the dark blue one is sleep, and the pale green one is mindfulness. Now when I tap on the mindfulness section, it's not going to show me, but that's because it's an old iPhone. But on my new phone, which I'm using, when I tap on that mindfulness section, it brings up a number of those options, those apps that I just talked about. So the Headspace app is there. I think Smiling Mind is there. There's another really good app called Calm. And Calm has a number of guided meditations in the form of stories. So they've got a section, they've got some music, they've got sections that are bedtime stories for sleep. They've got a section for kids, and I've found with my kids that they've really taken to the sleep section, so much so that we've had to move beyond the free version of the app, which only gave us one bedtime story. We're now subscribing, and it's not a very expensive subscription, but the stories are great. And what they do over the course of the story is the voice gets slower, the person reading it. Some of them are read by Stephen Fry, so they're quite good audio stories, audio recordings. By the end of their stories, the voices have slowed quite down and become quite a soothing sounding voice, and the kids often then drift off to sleep. So research is showing that yes, your mobile phone can actually help you with some of the experiences that you're having with stress or anxiety or worry or sleeplessness through the use of some of these fantastic apps. So, you know, I haven't run through an exhaustive list today, but have a look at Headspace, have a look at Beyond Blue's website, have a look at Smiling Mind, have a look at Calm, have a look at Reach Out, and see what you can find that suits you, because of course there are many different apps available and they might not suit everybody, but you might find one that you really find appealing. So the ones that are coming from a mindfulness based platform or a cognitive behavioral based platform are probably going to be the most beneficial for you. Generally speaking, they would be the ones that I would recommend. But those websites that I mentioned will be able to list for you some really good options. So what I might do a bit later on is put some links in the comments for you. So that might take me a little while, so I hope you won't mind if I give it a few minutes and I'll get those into the comments section for you. So that's it for tonight. It's a very, very rainy night. I'll give you a little view of my outline before you see my messy kitchen. View outside my window tonight now. We've got a fabulous tree out there with some blossom, and it's getting very dark. But there's rain on our tin roof tonight, which is all very soothing and pleasant. I hope wherever you are, you're warm and having a nice Friday evening. Now, if this is the first one of my videos that you've watched, don't forget to let me know whether you have any questions or comments, whether you just want to let me know that you like or love the video. Don't be shy with that. Don't forget that we do have a YouTube channel where all these videos are stored, so you can have a look at those later on. If you can't find something in particular on the website, you might, on the Facebook page, you might find them on the YouTube channel. And we're updating the blog section of the website to include written versions of these vlogs, so that you've got that information there in a written format, as well as the video links themselves. So feel free to share with your friends if you've got someone that you know that might find this information helpful. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a fabulous Friday night and a lovely weekend ahead. Thanks a lot, and bye-bye for now.